Hi guys. Um, Unfortunately I'm not having a very good technical day. Um, First off, as I just said in the bulletin, Let's Play is going to have to be put on hiatus temporarily. I just spent a 30-minute period recording tonight's double episode show. And the audio dropped out on it. Then I recorded it again, another 30 minutes of it, and the audio dropped out again. So I spent an hour recording the shows and the audio dropped. Not sure why. So unfortunately I'm not doing that again. I tried to do a show last night, but I figured my computer is just being funky, so I restarted the computer, did everything, and it's still doing it. So unfortunately that's going to go on hiatus until I can get a camera. A couple other things I did want to talk about while I'm here. I do look quite a mess right now, I must admit. I've had quite a day. My hair is up in pigtails, which you can't really tell, but I've had a really gross day. I've been mowing, doing yard work and stuff, so I feel really nasty, but there's a lot of things I want to kind of talk about. So this is going to be a very sporadic video, and then I'm also going to post another video talking about this phone. Not so much necessarily for you guys, but more or less because I'm going to send that video to my person that I bought it from on eBay, just so they can get an idea, because it's going to be easier for me to explain on camera for them exactly what's wrong rather than trying to type it out. So you'll get to see what's going on with that issues, because I'm having some issues with the camera, or with the phone. Alright, so there's another thing I want to talk about, and I did go out last night. I went to a local club, and I really had a lousy time, because first off, because my phone was being really stupid. That kind of put me in a pissy mood, you know, because I just bought this new camera, or I keep saying camera, this new phone, and it's acting buggy already. And then I just really wasn't having a good time because I didn't have people there really that I could. Well, I mean, my sister was there, and that was cool and all, but we won't go there. And then I'm gonna say this, and I mean, even if these guys were to come back and look at it, you know, I know that guys joke and all, but I'm gonna tell you something that one of the group. All right, let me back up, tell you a story what happened. So I'm watching the guys play beer pong. Group of guys, and we're talking about 6 or 7 guys. These are just my sister's boyfriend's friends, and they're all playing. Fair enough. So I'm hanging out, and I was actually enjoying watching them play beer pong. It was actually fun to watch, cheering them on, whatever. Anyway, one of them goes over to the other, and he points out to the dance floor, and he's like, "That's the one that would win." And the other guy looked, and he laughed and said, "Yeah." I said, "Would win?" You know, kind of cocked my head to the side like a puppy dog. And he's like, "Yeah, she would win." Well, he's pointing at this really large girl out on the dance floor. Now, she is about the size of what I used to be. I was a big girl. Big girl. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, have you ever heard of this hogtied contest?" I'm like, "Huh?" And he's like, "A hogtied contest that the guys played." I'm like, "No, what is that?" Because I can already see this is going to piss me off. And he's like, "Well, basically, a group of guys put $20 on the table, and he who takes home the fattest girl that night wins the pot of money." And I just thought to myself, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah. Yeah." And I was like, "Uh-huh." I said, "Well, that's kind of mean, don't you think?" And he's like, well, girls are mean." Sure, fair enough. Girls are vindictive. But that's cruel. So I'm not basing this on all men. Don't get me wrong, I'm not. I know that guys joke amongst themselves. I know that guys, you know, whatever. Fair enough. Girls talk smack too. Whatever. It's not a girl-guy thing. It's people talk smack sometimes. But that just... I don't know. I guess that just stung because, you know, I used to be big. And if somebody would have done something like that to me, if a guy would have approached me that looked like them, I would first have had my alarms up anyway. Anyway, it disgusted me. So I'm gonna just leave that with that. I just wanted to kind of share that and see if anybody had any feedback on that. Another thing I want to talk about very briefly is some books I've been reading. The thing with everybody at work right now is reading these vampire books. Everybody's reading vampire things between Twilight and all the True Blood stuff, and my sister's reading Anne Rice. You know, that's the things to be reading right now, I guess, because everybody talks about all these vampire books they have. And I have recently completed Interview with a Vampire, which was a decent book. I have a stat. I'm about to read it. I've read a little bit of Anne Rice before, but it was a different series under another name. If you're familiar with the Sleeping Beauty stories, I've read those. But Anne Rice is an interesting reader. And I also just finished reading the first book for True Blood, which is basically the first season of True Blood. Good book. Good book. There's a lot missing from the book that was in the TV show. Not saying that necessarily makes it bad or whatever. The book's still good. I mean, it was a quick, easy read. But it was funny. It made me laugh quite a bit. And there was even a part that made me cry, but only because of personal reasons, so it doesn't matter. So, I just wanted to kind of touch base on this whole vampire thing, how funny it is that all my friends seem to be reading vampire books and everything, and I guess I've kind of dug into that myself. It's the thing, it's the fancy thing. It's like kind of like how I said in my blog on Total Gamer, vampires is the thing right now. Like last year and the year before, it was all about pirates. Gotta have pirate stuff, pirate everything. And now it's vampires. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this, and then I'm gonna do some recording on this phone to talk about what problems I'm having with that, because I really want to touch on that. But thanks for watching, and I'm sorry about the 31 days of play. I really do want to continue with that, but I'm just not going to record again for the audio to fall out on me. I just can't do it. I don't have time for it. I gotta go to bed here very shortly because I have to get up in the morning and go to work and take my son off to bed and everything, and which, by the way, that's going very well. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful night, and